Hey there, plant lovers. You ever look at your fiddle leaf fig and think, wow, this thing was pricey? Well, hold on to your watering cans, because today we're talking about houseplants that cost more than some people's cars. From jaw-dropping variegated leaves to plants with roots in ancient myths, these beauties aren't just plants, they're investments. Seriously, one of these plants could fund a trip to the Bahamas. But hey, if you've got the green thumb and the green cash, why not? All right, let's dive into the top 10 most expensive houseplants in the world. And trust me, you won't believe what some of these go for. All right, coming in at number 1 for 2025, the crown jewel of houseplants, the Variegated Monstera. Look at this thing. It's like a work of art. Those marbled white and green leaves, that's what makes it so special. And, yeah, so expensive. We're talking anywhere from a couple $1,000 to upwards of $5,000 for a mature plant. Why the price tag? Well, these beauties don't grow variegated leaves naturally most of the time. It's like hitting the genetic jackpot. Plus, they're tricky to care for. Too much light, and the white parts burn. Not enough, and the variegation fades. It's basically the diva of the plant world. If you've got one of these, you're either really lucky or you've got a plant budget I can only dream of. Either way, it's definitely the ultimate flex for plant collectors. All right, coming in hot at number 2, the Variegated Mini Monstera. This little guy may be mini, but its price tag? Definitely not. These plants are selling for anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000 in 2025, depending on size and variegation. Yeah, it's like the Monstera Deliciosa's trendy little cousin with a VIP membership. So, what makes it so pricey? Well, these variegated patterns don't happen often, and propagating them is no walk in the park. Plus, the leaves have that cool split design everyone loves. It's like a mini jungle vibe in your home. Taking care of these is not for the faint of heart, though. They need just the right light and humidity, or they'll ghost you faster than an online date. But if you can keep one happy, it's basically like owning a piece of living art. All right, sliding into the number 3 spot for 2025, we've got the variegated Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. If you're into rare plants, this one's probably on your wish list, or your dream list. Prices for these can hit anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000, depending on how bold that variegation is. And trust me, the bolder, the better. Now, these are often called mini monsteras, but don't get them confused with their monstera cousins. These beauties are their own species, and that unique variegation doesn't come easy. It's like the plant world's version of designer sneakers. Rare, high maintenance, and everyone wants them. Of course, keeping one of these alive takes some skill. Too much sun? You'll scorch those pretty white streaks. Too little? Bye-bye variegation. But hey, if you can nail it, you've got yourself a showstopper. And a pretty solid conversation starter, too. All right, coming in at number 4, and this one's a bit different, we have the man-made orchid. Yeah, you heard me right. This isn't your typical grocery store orchid. These are carefully engineered hybrids, and some of them sell for up to $6,000. I mean, it's like the Rolls-Royce of orchids. So, why the price? Well, creating these isn't exactly an overnight process. Scientists spend years crossbreeding to get the perfect shape, color, and even fragrance. Some of these are so rare, they've been auctioned off at events like Fine Art. Now, don't think you're just buying a plant. You're buying a story. These orchids are conversation starters, investment pieces, and honestly, kind of a flex if you're into that sort of thing. Just make sure you're ready to give it VIP treatment, or those blooms might not stick around. All right, at number 5, we've got the large Monstera Obliqua. Now, if you've been in the plant world for a minute, you know this one's the holy grail. It's super rare, incredibly delicate, and let's be real, crazy expensive. A large, mature Obliqua like this? You're looking at $8,000 or more. Yeah, you heard me right. $8,000 for a plant. So, why the price tag? Well, first off, these are tough to come by. They grow incredibly slowly, and their leaves are so thin and fragile, it's like taking care of a piece of tissue paper. Plus, they're often mistaken for their more common cousin, the Monstera Adansonii. But trust me, Obliqua collectors can spot the difference a mile away. Owning one of these is basically a badge of honor in the plant world. But it's not just a plant, it's a commitment. You'll be checking humidity levels, misting it like a spa day, and maybe even talking to it. Yeah, I said it. No judgment here. Alright, taking the number 6 spot is this stunner right here, the Alocasia Azlanii, or as I like to call it, the bling of the plant world. Just look at those leaves. They've got this metallic sheen with deep purple and green tones that make it look almost unreal. And the price? Well, you're looking at $1,500 to $3,000 for a healthy specimen like this. So, what makes this little beauty so pricey? For starters, it's not easy to come by. These are native to Southeast Asia, and their slow growth means you're paying for time as much as looks. Plus, they need just the right balance of humidity, warmth, and light to thrive. Basically, the VIP suite of plant care. Taking care of an Azlanii isn't for the faint of heart. You've got to keep it happy with consistent care, or those gorgeous leaves can turn on you real quick. But hey, if you can pull it off, this plant's a total showstopper. Worth every penny, assuming you've got that kind of penny. Alright, coming in at number 7, we've got this absolute gem, the Anthurium Crystallinum. Just look at those leaves. They're like velvet, with this shimmering silver veining that almost glows in the light. It's like nature's version of a luxury handbag. And the price? You're looking at $1,000 to $3,000, depending on size and leaf quality. Now, these plants are native to Central and South America, and they're a favorite for collectors. Why? Well, not only do they look stunning, but they also have this unique ability to purify the air around them. Fancy and functional, it's a win-win. That said, these aren't exactly set-it-and-forget-it plants. They need high humidity and indirect light to stay happy. If your home feels more like a desert than a rainforest, you'll probably be investing in a humidifier just for this guy, but hey, for a plant this beautiful, totally worth it. Alright, plant lovers, taking the number 8 spot is the one and only Philodendron Pink Princess. I mean, just look at this beauty. Dark green leaves splashed with Barbie pink patches. It's a total showstopper. And that price tag? You're looking at $1,500 to $2,500, depending on how much pink is in the mix. The more pink, the higher the price. So, why is this plant so popular? Well, for one, it's rare, and getting consistent pink variegation takes a lot of patience and luck. These aren't plants you can just mass produce. Each one is unique, and that unpredictability is part of the charm. Now, let's talk care. This princess may be pink, but she's not high maintenance, at least not as much as you'd think. Bright, indirect light is the key here. Too little light, and those pink patches? Poof, gone. Too much light, and you risk burning those pretty leaves. It's all about balance. Alright, plant lovers, number 9 on our list is the Philodendron Tortum. If you're a fan of unusual plants, this one's for you. It's got these wild, curly leaves that look almost like they've been sculpted by hand. It's definitely not your average philodendron. And the price? You're looking at around $1,200 to $2,000 for a mature one like this. So, why the high price? Well, these guys aren't easy to come by. They're slower growers, and finding one with perfect leaf shapes like this is pretty rare. Plus, the leaves have this incredible texture that makes them stand out from the rest of the philodendron family. Taking care of a tortum isn't too bad, but it does need a little extra attention. You'll want to give it bright, indirect light, and keep the humidity up to help those leaves stay lush. And, like most rare plants, you've got to make sure it's not too cold. These guys don't like being chilled. Last, but definitely not least, we've got the Monstera Esqueleto. Yeah, You're probably thinking, what in the world is that? Well, this plant right here is all about those incredible, almost bone-like leaves. It's like nature's art. And the price? Well, these rare beauties can run you anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000, depending on size and leaf quality. So, why is this plant so expensive? Well, it's all about the rarity. The Monstera Esqueleto doesn't just grow anywhere. It's native to a very specific part of the world, and getting your hands on one of these is no easy feat. Add that to the fact that it takes years for them to mature and show off those signature leaves, and you've got yourself a pricey plant. Taking care of a Monstera Esqueleto isn't too tricky, but it does need some TLC. You'll want to keep it in bright, indirect light and maintain that humidity. Basically, treat it like royalty. But with a plant this stunning, I'd say it's totally worth the effort. So there you have it, the 10 most expensive houseplants for 2025. If you've got the space, the patience, and a little extra cash, these plants are definitely worth considering for your collection. They may be pricey, but trust me, they're a statement. If you enjoyed this list, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more plant content. See you next time.